All right. All right. All right. You know the drill. If you can hear me, let me know. And if you can't hear me, then, and it's everything's normal. Oh, boy. You know what I mean? Let's see. Well, we already got our first problem, so that's fine. We're gonna battle right through that. That's no big deal. We do have to swap this chart out, though. Yeah. Let's do that. Let's do that. Let's do this and this. Let's put it on the 24. Let's get the countdown going. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. It looks like it should be working. I don't know. I need some confirmation. Maybe we get a little confirmation. Maybe not. Who knows? Well, if it works, awesome. If it doesn't, then I'll talk to myself until the candle closes. That's okay too. No problem here. Hoping everything works. But we'll have to just wait a minute. Of course, we got a little lag here. We're gonna let this thing sort of settle itself out. We're looking at just over a minute. Close out this daily bearish candle today. Bit of a dump in the last few hours. Okay. Sound is good. Oh man, thank you. Crypto Dad Life, thank you for coming through with the information I needed to hear. That is excellent. All right, so bearish candle today so far. We got about 35 seconds to close it out. We lost all that we gained yesterday, so I'll zoom in a little bit, make it a little bit easier to see once this thing catches up in time. It's floating away from me. It's going. Come on, you got this. There you go. Want to zoom in just to get the price action look a little bit better. Take a deeper dive into what's going on here. Okay, well it's doing its thing. Hey Paul. Sure. Yeah, ETHUSD on Kraken, no problem. Let's close this candle out, which we just did. Let's see what we got going on here. We gotta wait a little bit, but we're working on it. All right. So as far as the last 24 hours of trading, we opened at 51.60. We hit a high of 51.91. We hit a low of 49.42. We closed it out at 50.24. So it was a loss of $136 or 2.64%. So we can currently see there's a little mixed bag between buying and selling going on. At least when we open up the candle, we got some buying headed in right now. So that's interesting. On the screen, you'll see the 7 EMA. And that's in white. That's our close line here for price action. Just for dynamic support resistance, and then we have the 20. So we're gonna creep those off just for a second. Take a closer look at the move here. So over the course of the last week or so, after the $765 candle, we went sideways, right? We pushed up, and then we went sideways. We pushed up again. Weren't able to close up over that previous high. Right, and then we were able to push back up again And this time we did I meant trade above it. I'm sorry. Of course we. And so at that point we were able to trade above it. Again, we didn't close above it, right? But we were trading above it. And then we had a big drop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days ago we had a pretty big drop. It was a $283 candle down. It didn't go back to our initial candle after the fact. The daily after. That's that tweezer bottom we were talking about. Couple days sideways action. Had a good bullish day yesterday. Almost a $100 candle, but then we gave it all back today. Tested out these low areas again around that 49.39 mark. Pushed back up again. So just like it did, look at the level that it's sitting at. Right? So look at this. This is current price. Oh, don't do that. Ever. Alright, so anyway. Just look at the green line, right? The green line is current price, 50.25. Every time it dipped below that, right, it pushed right back up, pushed right back up, pushed right back up. So you got a lot of buying in this general area, a lot of interest in buying. When we push up to these higher levels, you got a lot of interest in selling, right? A lot of interest in selling, coming in, pushing it back down, trying to push it down further past these levels. But each time we get there, we buy it up. Now, that's only 1, 2, 3, 4. That's only the last 4 days. 5 days, including that doji in the center line over here, right? So, in other words, if it is going to push down, it needs to do a better job than that. It needs to push down, and like I was saying last night, although I don't think anybody heard me, was coming back down and testing these levels down here. Right, getting into that 4205, 4108 zone, the 4142 zone. Really coming down, really making a stand that these levels will hold. And if that is the case, then further upside would be expected. If on the downside we come down and you push right through it like it doesn't even exist, then you're looking for further downside, retesting the levels at 3121. And even possibly breaking down to 29 or down to 1910, 1920 in that ballpark. All right? Just some lag? All right, well, we could deal with lag. I'll take lag over sound any day of the week. You know what I mean? We'll fix lag. That'll come in time. That'll come in time. So that's all right. All right, so let's see. We're gonna check ETH USD on Kraken. Let's check that out. ETH USD on Kraken. All right. Let's see if we charted this before. Yeah, a little bit. Okay, not much going on as far as the chart's concerned, but we do have enough to look at here. All right, so this is good. This is an ascending triangle, right, working its way up. Right here, you got the breakout position, right where it needs to be. So I think we marked this out before for a 37% increase up to these levels over here. But this is good. This is a nice push up. Come back for a good retest. Just like we saw on the Bitcoin chart, right, these wicks down here, right, shows lots of buying. Right, all that buying came in. Bought it right up. Now, I believe this was our target area, right, in the green over here. So this little green area, this little indication is the area that we need to retest in order for further upside. So that's exactly what we just did here. We had a push above and a break, right? So a break above with a close, 2-day retest, and another push above. Generally speaking, this would be a go-ahead mark right here. But you have to get past this line right here. Okay? Because you broke out and you came down, now you need to come back out and break it. You didn't. So this is okay. Another push back down, another close, not above. This time you finally broke it. Alright? Now, technically speaking, you might want to go, the real conservative route would be all the way up here. But let's take this example right here. You could have taken this up and up and up, right? And in this ballpark in a 187 zone, you would not have made these levels. So target area needs to be concentrated on for short-term gains. You'd probably coming down right at that. So that's a good level right here. For short-term gains, so that you can at least play the price action that's given you. So now again, another push up and back for another retest. So this is a double retest, or what could be considered a double bottom. Double bottom, generally speaking, is bullish. So pushing up further on the upside. So now what do we have, right? We have our low. Just from the pattern itself, we could take our yearly low. We have our low, a high, a higher low, double top, right? So now you're squeezing. Now you're condensing the price into a smaller margin of which to price in, because your bottom consistently goes higher while your tops are getting stopped out at the same level. That's what gave us the ascending wedge here, right? The ascending triangle. So from this pattern, this is what we like to see. We like to see a break, come back for a retest, and then a push. So if we look at the whole pattern and we measure it out, just a pattern, right? Coming down 236, 382 would be a bit too far. You don't want to come down that far. You just want to get the test of the pattern itself, and then you want to push up. So from here we could do two things, right? We could come over here as our initial large move, right? So that was our big move. So target area 198.68. That's our target zone. This is what we would want for our first profit target if we were to push right at this level. We cross this level here. That's where you have some confluence, or at least you have confidence in taking that trade long. Now, for something like a bigger pair like this, you're not going to see the kind of gains you would see on, you know, like a much smaller cap coin, because these just don't move the same here, right? So, but still, just that little bit right there is 18%. That's fantastic. Nothing wrong with 18% in any market, ever. All right. Trying to see what else we had going on here, but what I'd like to see is if that 618 even makes sense as far as other levels of interest, you know. So if we were going to paint these on the daily, then yeah, you know, this level right here, you push up, you come down, that's your first pullback off a parabolic. Come back up, that's your double top or swing fail. First area to find support is also our 1618 off current move. Okay, close enough. All right, so that would be my first indication that I might want to pull profits over here. If it looks like continuation, right, continuation of local trend to the upside, then start dancing around that 268 or the 423. You know, start to get a little wild up here in these zones. But you gotta play these types of large cap coins. You gotta play them very close to the sleeve as far as price action is concerned. They could change on a dime, and they are heavily influenced by Bitcoin. So what Bitcoin does will affect these coins differently than, you know, something like Lisk or Qtum or whatever. You know what I mean? Cool. All right. I want to take a look at the scanner real quick, see what we had shaking today. I know we had a big drop in overall market, right? So it's just always interesting to me to see, you know, what happened in that daily move. What were the big movers? This is great for setups. At least this helps shave a lot of time off of what I'm looking at. So that's what I do. I come on and kind of share it with you, see what's shaking. So, GTO BTC. Small market cap, 20 million, up 276%. Now with this kind of trend, that's got to be a fat finger. Let's check it out. GTO BTC. Yeah. So when you get a fat finger, it throws the whole, one, it throws the whole chart off. And then two, it throws off all the data points. Right? So, you know, somebody accidentally hit the wrong thing and sold all the way down here. And of course, because it's crypto, you got people with buy orders all the way down to one sat. You know what I mean? So all of these will always look like a wick because they'll always get eaten up so quick with all the standing orders that are just sitting there. But as far as Giftco is concerned, I didn't want to do that. So as far as this particular asset is concerned, since we already have the chart up, still in range. We got a good double range area. You kind of have an upper range zone, and then you have your lower range zone. We're just dancing around what we could consider this kind of like a median line right here. So danced above it for a little while, pushed right back down, and now we're actually running out of room on our range here. Let's just do that. All right. So nothing really to look at as far as I'm concerned. I would wait. That's my zone right here, the green zone. So I would wait until a break above this range, retest, proper retest of range, and then a push back up where I'll be looking at these levels over here. So levels of interest that are important to that particular chart. All right, and wrong button. Okay, so let's see what is happening here. Where's my thing? There we go. All right, trying to do some testing earlier. Okay, so DNT up 48, sitting around the 45 zone. That's for the BTC and ETH pair. MFT BTC up 20, down 20 from that 20. Yo-Yo went up 19, lost 85% of it already. But look at the trends. All the trends are real ugly. Ugly trends, ugly trends. Wabi's got a little dark green over here. So Wabi's doing something. Little mini pullback on the 5 so far. Up 18, down 7.5. So it's sitting around the 786 zone as of right now for the daily. Let's take a look at Wabi BTC. I know, I got to clean this up. Not good. Not good. All right, let's see what Wabi's been doing. Wabi broke range probably about a month or so ago. Pushed up. Had a really good move. Let's get rid of this. Had a really good move up, right? But then a major spike, huge sell-off. Came back for another attempt. Swing, fail, fail. Push up and down. False break. And then push down to previous structure levels. Gave it all back, or at least got it all back, and then slowly worked its way down, right? Finally finding support. Let's see, I'm sure that's a level here somewhere. So, yeah, so back at the top of range, right? This was the top of our range area, right? That's where you found support. So let's put this back on, right? So that's the range break, right? Range breaks. So these are like false breaks, right? Or failed breaks, I should say. But that is where you found support coming right underneath here. And now we're pushing back up. So, for all intents and purposes, let's see what's shaking here. Clearly, we were looking at this on something else. Maybe a 4 hour? Probably an hour. Sometimes you gotta find the where you drew the pattern to get back in your own head to decide what you were even looking at. All right, so when we had the break, right? There's a huge bull pennant, had the break, push up, proper retest, push up, swing, fail. All right, this should have been great. It wasn't. It died. Volume died. Interest died. All right, all that happened. So now we start a new trend, working down, keeping the trend as resistance. Only tested it a few times when we got back over to this zone from over here. More or less sideways with a drop. Okay, so at the end of the day, we pushed all the way back down to these levels in the 50.87 mark. From there, right, we found massive support and pushed way up, right back. That's got to be the 1618 right here. Yeah, right back up to the 1618. 1618 push past historical support resistance, right, horizontal side. And that's where we're accumulating right now. So you can see again, it wants to paint another pattern. I don't think we should let it though. Right? This is almost a diamond, isn't it? It's very close. Very close. Yeah, it's alright. This would be your swing fail, your local swing fail on the hourly chart. Alright, so you could do something like this, where you would have, you know, your support line kick in. Probably do something more like that. And then you'd have your swing fail line right here. Okay. So you got a little bit of a symmetrical triangle. Not much though. You got 1-2 touches to the top side. I guess you could call that, but I probably wouldn't. So 1, 2, almost 3 touches to the downside, right? So if it does break down, you look for a push down, a retest back up, and then further downside, finding levels on there that'll make sense. So Wabi has slowed down, you know, significantly from what it has done, and now it's starting to give ourselves, you know, a little bit of a weak point here. You know, you got a little bit of a head and shoulders. You got your head, you got your left shoulder, your right shoulder. So if that were the case, and it were to break the neckline, right, from the neckline down, and then the size of the head, right, head to neckline, that's your target area to the south side. Miguel, what's up? Scout, what's going on? Miguel, you're right, dude. I do not give up. I don't give up. Certainly not easily. But look, we got sound today. We got a little lag. No big deal. No big deal. But it's all good, right? It's all good. It's working. It's working. All right, so I'm gonna swap this into daily movers. So I'm basically just gonna hit the D on here. And I want to see what's trending on the daily side of things. So what is moving, even if it hasn't made like a big 20, 30, 40% move. When the markets get quiet, this is what we look for. We look for trending coins. Coins that are trending. Coins that are trending, pulling back. Right? That'll give possible entries. Coins that are doing this, making new lows. Right? New lows, new lows. Not XRP, but... for example, this is certainly trending on the downside, but that's something that you are able to at least diagnose and see if there's an opportunity there. If there's an opportunity, then fantastic. So I'm looking at everything right now that is coming up. Daily, strong trend. EOS, ETH, probably got the best looking one here. But again, with ETH and Bitcoin so tied so close to each other that you have to be a little bit cautious. BNB, this is good, right? You got a strong trend on the 4, 12, and daily. Little bit of a pushback on the 5-minute. Made an 8% move earlier today. Gave half of that back already. BAT, this is a good setup right here. So BAT, the longer time frames are showing a strong uptrend, right? The shorter time frames are showing a sideways, slightly bearish downtrend. All right, so BAT ETH, this is something that we might want to take a look at. Now, it was up 6%, gave 150% of that back. So if let's just say 6% was, you know, $10, right? it gave the whole $10 plus another $5 down. So this is certainly trending on the downside local. Let's take a look at BAT ETH. All right, so for BAT ETH, yeah, see now again, like this is going to throw everything off. That's not in our 24-hour candle, but that just throws everything off, which is so annoying. But we're going to see it. Let me throw the daily up and see what we got shaking over here. Okay, come on, get out of here. Alright, so on the Ethereum chart, a little bit different than the Bitcoin chart, which is fine. It makes for interesting TV, you know what I mean? So what I'm doing is I just want to get an overall concept here. So you'll see like it's going to cut through some candles. It's going to look a little ugly. Don't worry about any of that. So even though, as strange as it seems, they don't seem like they're correlated at all. But they really are. Okay? Doesn't seem like it, but it is. As crazy as that sounds, you know, you can make sense out of using something like this just as a visual reference of, you know, so like I do with RSI, right? Is it not on here? Don't worry about it. So like I do with RSI, I put a 50 line down, right? And that very easily tells me like overall, you know, what side of it are we on? What are we battling up against? And is there anything significant that I need to look for coming down the road? And that's all that really does for me. All right, so of course, like always, right, we're going to go to our new chart. So we're going to throw some horizontal support resistance levels here that make sense. Areas of interest that we think may either need to be revisited at some point, or areas that have held in the past that are at least important for the time being. And these can always be adjusted or deleted or whatever. So, you know, you don't have to marry a horizontal. All right. So anyway, back to this move. So the important thing for me here is this double top, right? So you got like almost like a big W pattern forming here. Which could be like a, you know, you could have a harmonic where you got like a big crab pattern coming up in this ballpark, right? You also have your double round, right? That's your big M before the W drop. Okay, you didn't get the M reverse and then up. You just got a pullback and then up. So this is an area of significance for me. I want to know what that pullback is. So I'm just going to come over here and I'm just going to measure it. That's all. No big deal. Come over here and I'm going to measure. Right, well, measure, what do we got? 236, just about. It's an ugly 236, which tells me it didn't really respect these levels all too much. Right? So now, this was your first big move, and that's your first big pullback. So let's measure that one. First big move, minor pullback, but that was down to the 50. Second big move, second pullback, down to the 382. All right? And then your overall is all the way up here. So your overall move and your overall pullback, horizontal support resistance, all right? And you didn't even hit the 5. If we're calling this a legit candle, then you tapped out on the 709. All right, if we're calling that a legit candle. Well, we'd have to zoom into like the hourly and see if it was actual trading or not, which we could do that right now if you want. Might as well, right? We're all right here. Let's take a look. Well, it's not looking good. Tell you right now, it's not looking good. Ooh, yeah. Where you at? There you are. Yeah, so, I mean, look, if you could zoom in that much and you don't see, like, candles making moves, even if they're dramatic, violent moves, then, yeah, it's a fat finger. You know what I mean? You got a fat finger, you got a giant wick, you got a stop hunt. I mean, you can call it whatever you want to call it. But what I don't do is, I don't factor it into TA. Alright, so, now that we're back here, I put the 3-day up because I want to see the difference here. See, the 3-day doesn't look bad. It really doesn't. 3-day really doesn't look bad. Alright, so here's the deal. Right? You consistently with this coin making, you know, your higher low keeps getting higher, right? So we can all see that minus this swing fail, double bottom, push up to the top. No big deal. All right. Now your highs, they're slowing down. You had your first big high, well, listing, right? And then you had your high, push down, made a lower high. So right off the bat, you're just starting off bad, right? It's just bad, right? But you ended up squeezing in, consolidating a little bit, and you made yourself a higher low, push back up to make a higher high. Bang, you're right back in business. And your higher high is higher than previous structure. So this whole thing is wiped clean. You're back in business. Your next major low is really just a pullback off of this move, swing up and down, push back up again for another higher high. Again, higher than all previous structure. Pull back down again, swing failure, failed to make a higher high on the pull. You end up reversing back, price comes back down, but again, you're higher than your previous higher lows, so higher than structure. Where'd you come down to? Look left, right? Previous structure highs. Previous structure high, previous structure high, previous structure high, right? Previous structure high. Good. Pull back up again, another failure, right? But you're inside a micro trend at this point, so it's okay, but it's not great. This is when you got to start zooming into, well, we're on 3 days. So you zoom into the daily, cross over to the 4-hour, reference again with a 1 and see what's actually shaking right here. Right, you push back down. Now you made a double bottom. Found support where? Again, same area, same zone, same zone. Push back up again. Now you have to break these levels in order for this move to be worth anything. And you did right here. You broke structure levels on body candles. Candle bodies. You pushed up. You made a nice move up. It should be all-time high on the Bad ETH pair. Push back down for a retest. Structure. Pushing back up. So that's why I like this. I think this is okay. This is really just a push, break out of structure, pull back to retest previous structure highs, and then bang, you should be off to the races. All right. I'm cool with this. I'm cool with this. What I might do is, let's see something here. So coming back on this structure with the push up pull, I might do something very small on this one and just see what, I want to see what this move is right here. Yeah. Alright, so see we measured the pullback. You see right where it got stopped out? You see that? It's the 423. It's perfect. I mean, it's absolutely perfect. Look at that. So I measured this pullback to see what we were going to get on the way up, and it respected everything on the way up. Right? You hit your 1.6, you hit your 2.6, you hit your 3.6, and you spiked it right on the 4.2. So now we got to do something else, though. Now we're out. Right? We're out of room here. So now we got to measure the bigger guy. So if we're looking for targets, and we're looking for something that's already at all-time highs, because I don't count this. I don't count listing. It's not like traditional price action. Should it get back to that number? Maybe. Is it an important number? Sure, because that was the listing number. So it's definitely important, but I factor it in more on like an FA level. All right, so if we're looking at targets, we're looking to take this thing from the retest and a push up. Obviously, we need to break our previous high, which is right here at 222,945. Break past that, and then the next stop for me would be 261,588. Which overall, I'm sure isn't all that bad. $17. That's good. That's real good. MOH Technologies, hello. Crypto Dad Life. Wabi partnership announcement tomorrow. Marcos, good evening. Time to take a look at Link BTC. Sure. I could take a look at Link BTC. Why not? Good old Chainlink. I'll tell you right now, push down, retest, and further downside. All right, so last time we looked at this, we were talking about trying to break out to the upside, which would have been nice, but false break, no good. You didn't get your retest from pattern. You did, however, get your retest from pattern right here. It's just on the downside. All right, so next stop here, you'd be looking at 7602, coming back to the 618 on the overall larger move. All right, so from bottom move, local move, all right, local push up, local bottom, local top. This is your move. And then looking at right now, coming down, finding support on the 5, which if we didn't have a pattern, typically you'd say would be okay. However, you found support at the 5, you smashed your head at the 382. 382 happens to be our bottom line for our descending triangle, which ends up being further downside. Alright, so I would be looking at least scoping out that 618. Alright. Now, previous structure, consolidation period over here. On the way up, this was sort of like, you know, you had your higher low, your higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, swing fail. Right, failed to make a higher high right here. This was an area that you consolidated in. And then you had a nice 2-candle parabolic move up. Right, and then you came down for a retest, a little pullback, and then further upside. So this area right here makes sense. Consolidation would be good. Probably still got some buy orders left in there. If not, that 709 looks real nice right here. All right. This did a few things too. You see this broadening wedge? Right, that's on the these aqua lines. See these? So the aqua lines, your broadening wedge, meaning that you're starting narrow, right, and then it gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Right, the price action gets further and further apart. You broke that right here. You broke it mid-pattern. We can get rid of, I don't know why these are here. Let's get this out of here. I got to rewatch my own video to understand why I put those there. But anyway, we broke that wedge. Right, long-term support. Lost it. If we zoom in, we'll see that we lost it. We came back for a retest. We tried it again. We flipped it. From support to resistance, pushed it down. That's what broke the pattern. That's a breakout play. It's just that we usually talk about breakout plays to the north side. This is a breakout play to the south side. Drop down. Push back up for a retest. Confirmation. Pattern. Drop it down. So again, I'd be looking 618. Alright. You can eyeball this 5 as it gets closer and see if it has enough momentum to continue. If it looks like it's slowing down, you might be okay at the 5, but PA would tell me this thing's coming down a little further. Alright? So that is Link BTC, but that's alright. You get better buy orders, you know what I mean? Of course. You gotta have better buy orders. That's the whole point. Alright, QSP XLM. Wallbanger, what's up, man? QSP. Oh, man, you're going to make me extend my range line here. QSP. QSP still in range. It's making another move up. I hear you. I see you. But, nothing yet. Nothing yet. Now, you could range trade these all day long. Or I should say all week long. Alright. Almost a cup and handle here. A little bit. A little bit. Maybe about the ugliest cup and handle there ever was. But, I mean, it's trying. Some people might call this an Adam and Eve. You know, you got your Adam. You got your Eve. Maybe. If it is, it's ugly. Let me extend our range over here. We are now at 247 days in range. Again, this is sort of like a double ranged out area as well. Obviously, anything really under my current cursor line would be the lower portion of range. This would all be the upper portion of range. So, we could do this. Something like that. Make it a little easier to see. Alright. Push this puppy out too. Why the hell not, right? Why the hell not? Close. Alright, so what Wallbanger's looking at is this guy right here. That's what I'm guessing. We're approaching upper range again. Now, remember, we've been faked out twice. 3 times with QSP. 4 times. Oh, let me keep looking. I'll find more. 5 times. 5 times. All right. So, what's the unfortunate truth when it comes down to that, right? You have to decide when are we actually out. You know, where is your confirmation? Is it the top of this structure? The top of this structure? The top? The top? The top? Here's what I do. I do local. Right, meaning that I go for the first local move. The big one. Right, so if I'm watching, if none of this even exists, I'm watching this, it's coming up, it's coming up, it's coming up. Okay. We got our first approach. Fail, we come down, swing low. So swing fail pattern pushes me somewhere in this ballpark right here would be the breakout from the push. Come back up. Now we broke out, but we didn't close. We just broke out. We didn't close. So this is my first area that I want to look at. Now our next attempt pushes up. Pushes way up. We didn't close above this level. We didn't close. Alright? So you could do something like this and say, until we break range and we close above this resistance line, you got nothing for me. Alright, now this acts as two different things as well, because now you want to break range, you want to come down and you want to retest top of range, but this might supersede it. You might only come down and retest this line and then find support. And then these guys hanging in here with buy orders never get hit. So it's just something you need to be aware of. Alright, but that's how I would look at that chart right now. We're approaching, but we got a ways to go. Got a ways to go. Alright, so what was that? QSP and XLM? XLM, good old Stellar. Let's see, XLM, what, BTC? Oh, jeez. I don't think you were supposed to see this chart. Alright, so let's see what we're looking at here. Well, that clearly didn't happen. Jeez. But you can see the thought process behind it was a push up, pull back, a push up, a pull back, buy the pullback, right, and make another further high, right? Another higher high. See, I don't mind showing you my failed trades. I ain't got no problem with that. All right. So this clearly didn't happen, right? So you got stopped out. So if we were buying, let's see, we were buying between the 618 and the 5. Oh, this is upside down. Wow. That's because we're looking target areas over here. Well, let's just say that was our zone anyway. Let's say our zone was between the 5 and the 618. So, you know, something like that. And let's say we were buying this, right? You're buying between the 5 and the 618. You might have a Hail Mary order at the 709, but you're probably getting stopped out just under the 786. All right? But you have to adjust how much you have on the trade in order for that to make sense. All right, well, in any event, let's get rid of this and this and this. Now we can at least see what the hell is going on here. Okay. Now we do have these. Oh, I was doing all sorts of stuff on this chart. All right. Getting the Gann time theory. It's cool stuff. All right, so anyway, we're always looking for the 236 are for all-time high. Right? That's a given. That is a given. So, all things considered, very close to a double bottom, but not quite. Didn't quite make the double bottom. Very close, though. We had a great move up with a great pullback. Another great move up with a decent pullback. Pretty shallow. Another move up. What would have been a great pullback. Right? Push up, swing, fail. Right here. You lost it. So, that being said. Right? I know it looks like super sharp, but kind of is what it is. So with your swing fail, now you're going to use this line as resistance until you flip it. You want to reflip on the other side. Now, this area over here, I'm not sure if we drew it for range or just as bottom buy zone. I'm not 100% sure. But these levels are, you know, enticing, to say the least. All right, now, long-term trend lines, these green ones, is what we're starting to see a little love on right now. Okay, so this line right here coming from, see, that's your first pullback. That's your second move after your pull. That's your swing fail from all-time high. And that's right what we're coming into right now. This right here. All right. So remember how I just said, right, you want to be able to flip this line that we just drew. We want to flip that line bullish. Same thing right here, except you did. Okay? Was bearish right here. You flipped it, and now it went bullish, except you couldn't maintain momentum. So you lost it, which is also an indication of a huge retest. So push up, break, come down, retest, push up to flip. Right? And then you're looking at starting to get these levels again. Historical levels of support resistance. And then again up to the 236. That's still where I want to go. Now I do want to see this move. We are crossed to 786 for this move. Just this move. For this pullback is deeper than a 786 retracement. Or pullback, I should say. Right? So if you've already gone that far, 786 is no 886 is no problem. So depending on price action and how we're starting to look, I might be looking at getting in 886. Something like that. All right. As a buy off of this move. Previous area consolidation. Previous area of support. Already lost to 786. You might as well. You're right here. This happens in the next day or two. It'll be confluence with a proper retest, right? Which you kind of got right here. Proper retest, long-term trend. Okay? At the same time, you have volume declining while price is declining. Okay? So there's less interest in people selling at these prices. There's less interest overall. People trading this pair at these prices, which generally means, right, trend likes to go where the volume is. So if volume is going up and price is going down, well, there's a lot of interest pushing it down, right? If volume's going up and price is going up, well, then there's a lot of interest pushing that price up and supporting it. But the opposite is true if volume goes down. So volume going down, price is going down, people are getting sick and tired of it. They want to start trading it again, but they're not gonna at these levels. Something has to kick them into gear. This is a bullish sign. Okay, volume down, price down, bullish. Bullish. So I'm going to put another one of these lines on here because I'm a glutton for punishment. And I'm going to do that. Okay. I'm going to look for support on long-term trend, break a falling wedge, push back for a retest, and smash these previous structure levels until we get into this 236 sell zone. That's the plan. All right. So that's what I got for Stellar. What time is it? 7:51. Let's do one more chart. Call it a night. Welcome back. Thank you. Thank you. I know it's been man. One day one day we're not gonna do any charts. We're just gonna tell stories. I don't know about that. Maybe not. We'll have to throw some charts up. Always got to have one or two charts up. All right, so let's see. Who's ever first in chat, pull out something you want to see. Let's chart it, and then we'll call it a night for now. It's in your hands. Let's see. Saw something very similar with XLM now. What TNB was showing before it popped. Let's take a look at TNB. TNB. All right. TNB is going to trade a little differently because it's pretty low market cap. Let's see what we got over here. All right, so you saw something similar. TNB. Well, I do see, you got the large move up, right, with a huge pullback. So that pullback gave back 100%. All right, this pullback, 100%. Then you had the next huge move up, right, and you had your 3 soldiers down, or 3 black crows down. Found support just under previous structure support. Typically, you want to find support previous structure high, right? But it came down a little bit lower, which is making me rethink where I drew the range here. I wonder if maybe the range should be right here. Finding support on top of range and then dumping down. That would make a little bit more sense. All right, in which case, this move right here is fantastic. However, similar, like you said, similar to XLM, on the push up, you failed to make your higher high. So you got your swing failure like this. Right? So now that you got a swing fail, it's the same deal. You have to flip it. Right? You got to flip it. So coming over on this initial push though, right, we still haven't done this. We still haven't closed above this line. So all of this, it's all nothing. It's all nothing. You got to close above that first attempt. At least a local attempt, you know what I mean? Like this guy, yeah, I get it. That's not even an attempt. There's no candle even near the top of the range. It's just one shot. This, you were trading. You were actually trading up to it. People were interested. They were trying. This break right here, break and close, push back for a retest, but the retest was too deep. Too far back in the range. Then you got your 3 black crow pattern down. Perfectly played. Pushed it way up. Fantastic. Now you closed up above and broke previous structure levels, which is great. Another push up. All that buying that was happening right here is fantastic. But you didn't close above your previous attempt. This guy right here. He's come back down again. Another 3 black crow pattern. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So count how many times that plays out, because 1, 2, 3. Because if this is a coin that does that historically, it's something you're going to want to watch. Just like this right here. Today's current candle. All right, if it's anything like this pattern and anything like this pattern, right, then you would expect another push down. Now, this move. The big one. 3 down. Support, top of range. Push up. Another push. Fail. That's your swing fail. Come back down again. I'd imagine we at least touch this range line again. One more time. Flip our swing fail line long. and at which point aggressive traders will long this right here. They're longing range, support, flip, and they're pushing up past this first line. You get past that first line, and then it's, you know, all standard rules apply, and you're looking to go long. First area of major significance would be 288. After that, 481, 757. And then you could do something like this, where you're looking for somewhere near the 236. This is just eyeballing it, all right? So don't get all crazy. Somewhere around 581 ballpark zone you'd be looking for. Yeah. All right, very nice. DMB. There you go. Oh no, MDA. Wall banger. What are you doing? What are you doing? MDA. Oh, this one. Okay. Yeah. All right. So, what happened here? We have a buy box right here on a symmetrical triangle. This is very interesting. I mean, I don't buy inside of a pattern unless maybe we're looking at something on the daily, on the hourly. Let's try the 4. Nah, I mean, if we're just looking at maybe a consolidation area, that could be it. Inside of symmetrical triangle, push out. We had our symmetrical triangle trend line become our trend after break. It wasn't a break, we just hit the apex and slid over. So very, very unimpressive pattern. Well, invalidated, I should say. So you had a higher high, break structure. Yeah, you broke previous structure, couldn't break this structure, but you did break previous structure. Pushed up again, another higher high. You broke previous structure, but not the high. Another higher low, and then your swing failure right here. So you'd probably do this. Come on. That would be your indication to come down and short. And then your swing fail. Ay, ay, ay. Fine. This just can't get the magnet right sometimes. Okay, that's good. So anyway, yeah, you'll be looking at your swing fail line coming up here, pushing out another symmetrical triangle. This one obviously got less weight to it. It's a 4-hour chart, but you can see this drop, right? So you push in, you had almost a bit of a diamond pattern here, which is actually pretty cool. See those all the time. So it goes, well, I mean, I guess not. It's not that great. Generally, you want some trading up here, but then it would come down, and then this would end up connecting. All right, but forget it. Anyway, moving on. The push down, right? Good push down and a proper retest, and came back and then did all this, and this, and this, and this, and this. So When is it enough for this drop? Well, it's at a good level right now to slow down. Okay, previous structure highs right here. This whole zone, let's say we tap this thing down to, you know, somewhere around, I guess you go top of body-ish. But go something like that. Go top of bodies here, try to get the top of bodies here, and then the wicks end up being just like breakout misses. But, you know, you want to like capture something like that. You know, it's finicky. Anyway, it's fine. It's good enough for what we're doing. So anyway, yeah, that's a good zone. That's right where we're at. So that's okay. If you were to find support right here, that would be fine. Let's take a look at what we're dealing with just on this move. All right, again, just like one of them we just looked at. Find the actual top of that body. Like another one that we were just looking at, you're so close to the 886, you know what I mean? It's like, you might as well just hit it. And, you know, I feel the same way. But what do we have here? You know, do we have anything going on our side? We got the same volume thing that we just had. You know, like this. It actually came down right here and bottomed. Started to creep up a little bit right here. But overall, you know, volume down, price down. Okay. So that's not bad. It's something to at least consider. You know, and then if you do find support at the 886, you know, all rules apply, right? And you're starting to push back up and up and up and up and up. You need to surpass your previous structure high, and then should be your next immediate challenge. All right. Cool. All right. Well, let's see. BTC 4 light pink, 4 light green. All right. It's kind of like massive indecision. On the 4 buys, you know, you're looking for like 4 dark green on the longer. 4 dark or 4 light pink on the shorter. That'll show you a good like pullback play. Those are always good. Similarity to solve were numbers from Trading Room FibView. If X1 pops within the next 2 weeks, it will confirm the indicator. If it does, I'll explain it. Awesome. Oh, always looking forward to that, man. Love learning. All right. That is it. Thank you so much for coming out. Appreciate it. Always have a good time with you guys and gals. And we'll see what tomorrow brings us. Whether we are streaming or not. And